Dave here for Ground Station TV and Ready Made RC, and we're down in Costa Mesa, California, checking out the RCX Expo. This is everything RC, lots of cool stuff going on this weekend, so let's go check it out. Ground vehicles were a huge part of the show, and they were everywhere. There were fast ones, slow ones, indoor, outdoor, small, large, open wheel, closed wheel, any configuration you could think of, it was there. And there was a lot of neat stuff going on. I couldn't help but be thinking to myself all the time, boy, I'd love to FPV that. Everywhere I went, I was imagining a camera in one of these vehicles and trying to pilot the vehicle from inside. Boats, it was all there. So there was a lot of cool stuff to see, and even some scale trucks were featured at the show with their own full setup. It was very, very cool. We got Johnny from Team Legit, and he's showing us the Legit wing. Johnny, what have you got here?
Well, this is the Legit wing. We've been trying a bunch of different models, and we've flown all kinds of different aircrafts. We just couldn't find the one that appealed to us. We wanted something small and compact that we could just throw in the car and then get it out for quick deployments and just launch, have a good time, and then get back in and go to a new location. So we created the Legit wing. Legit wing is a foam EPP wing that's cut by us. It's designed by us, and it's now being carried at Ready Made RC, so you guys can check it out there. It flies on a 4-cell setup. We're running a 1.2 gigahertz video system. The kit will come with everything you need except for your electronics, which I believe there'll be a power pack coming out here soon for that. But everything, you know, this wing is capable of carrying all your FPV gear, your basic stuff. If you want to throw an OSD on there, you can. We usually don't. We want something we can just plug in, get out, launch, fly. You may have seen some of our videos on YouTube, and if you haven't, make sure you guys check them out.
Cool, and what's the YouTube channel for that?
That's on YouTube is Team-Legit or FPV Team Legit on YouTube. You guys can check us out. There's a little sticker here that comes with your kits and whatnot, and it also has the website information on the little paper that comes with your kits.
So this is a plane that you guys have been flying for a little while. What kind of beatings can the plane take?
Well, as you can see, this is the second one that I built. The first one just couldn't take it anymore after crashing and crashing and crashing. It ended up in a building in downtown LA. We're not going to get into that right now, but after that we ended up retiring it. So I created the second airfoil, or I built the second airfoil, and this one's been good to me. It's had a couple, false landings and hit a couple things and had some, pretty rough landings on concrete. I actually did the London Bridge video with this, where I flew actually under the London Bridge and came down on a concrete driveway, and this thing just slid about 20-30 feet. But they do take a beating, and I mean, when I say that, the frame is still rigid, everything is still intact. I broke a couple pops here and there, but overall it's a really, really durable plane.
Awesome. And real quick, what would you say is the difference that you've seen in this wing from some of the other types you've flown?
Well, one thing that we saw on a lot of the other wings is they're large, they're bulky, they're cumbersome. This one maintains its compact size. Another thing too is that I've noticed that a lot of wings, when they're flying, they get this wag. When you come up or you power off, they get this wag and they don't glide as well. We wanted to make sure we put nice strong skids and nice big winglets to make sure we don't get those wags in your videos. So this aircraft accomplishes that without the wag, and also the nice thick airfoil. It's able to carry your heavy payloads or heavier payloads for this size aircraft without a problem.
Awesome, thanks a lot. We got Johnny from Team Legit. Check it out, they've got their wings at Ready Made RC, the Legit wing, and you can go to www.readymaderc.com to see more. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Outdoor demos were in full effect, and the RC motorcycle category was something that was really neat. I mocked up but didn't get to try an FPV setup on one of these, but it would be a really interesting platform to try out and see what it looked like from the driver's position. Scale crawlers were going on, and there was a lot of neat detail with some of these builds here and a range of other stuff out there. The drag racing was another cool feature that I hadn't yet seen before. Not sure how that would translate to FPV, but it was a big crowd favorite and a lot of people checking it out all day long as they ripped down this somewhat short course. As you can see, they couldn't all handle it. Drifting was another big fun category that was going on at the show and gained a lot of attention. I think it would be really neat to see some FPV setups on head tracking for pan and tilt to control the driving as you drifted around corners. So some neat options out there for FPV. We're here at the Cal Poly Pomona Aerospace Engineering booth, and I've got Bryn and Brian here, and we're checking out some of the toys that they've got. Guys, what have you got going here?
So we have a couple of our projects here that we're working on at Cal Poly Pomona. We have some multi-rotors, also fixed-wing aircraft. So for this one, what we have is it's a custom-built frame and custom firmware for the Ardu pilot. And what we're utilizing is 6 sonar on the outside of the aircraft. And what that does is we can fly it in a room or down a hallway, and it'll actually, when it gets too close to something, it'll pitch away and regain its composure and not crash into anything. So that's the main purpose of this project right here. This one over here, we're using it as mostly a test bed for sensing. So we have a project sponsored by JPL where they have a methane sensor that they want to mount on it so we can do atmospheric readings. Also, like, we can fly along a pipeline and check to see if there's any leaks. Right. We also use it to train under lower division students so that we can teach them the autopilot so that they can then move on to other projects that we're working on, so they just have the knowledge of how to run the autopilots.
Very cool. And you guys are an undergraduate program?
Yes, we are.
Okay, awesome. And do you guys fly FPV on your own as well? I think, Brian, you said you do?
Yeah, it's a hobby of mine for sure.
Okay. And what kind of stuff are you doing in FPV?
I'm FPV flying. Definitely have the Sky Surfer from Ready Made and 5.8 gigahertz transmitters, 1,000 milliwatts.
Cool. And Bryn, how come you haven't flown yet?
I do a little bit of flying. I'm getting into it. I have an FPV system that I bought, and I'm working on it right now. My first flight didn't work so well. My camera fell off, and I broke my antenna.
He's a little more frugal than me. I'm more willing to spend money.
Yeah.
Very cool. What are you guys' plans after college? What you guys want to be in the aerospace engineering industry? Are you going to do unmanned aerial system, full scale? Not sure.
I'm interested in small UAV stuff. So there's a lot of companies that are pushing towards that. As soon as like the FAA regulations come through, there'll be a lot of companies that'll be doing that for commercial applications, like, you know, crop surveying, aerial photography, and stuff like that. And I'm actually going to grad school out in North Carolina, so that's...
My passion is actually in structures. I want to concentrate on development of new structure systems, new materials for lighter, stronger, new carbon fiber composites and stuff.
Awesome, very cool. Well, lots of stuff going on, and we'll keep on moving.
Sometimes I wonder.
It seemed no matter where you went, there was a lot of action to see, from full-scale cars to fire-breathing robot demos. The crowd was enticed in almost every corner, and there was a lot of great food out there. If you were into cars, ground vehicles, air vehicles, this was a fun show to be at. There were some interesting multi-copter designs going on, from bigger frame that were folding, other systems that could fit easily into overhead compartments if you want to travel with them, vector systems. It was a lot of neat stuff to see. There were some model contests going on, and that was also really neat to see some of these large-scale projects. And of course, the $20 quick grabs.
Traxxas, the fastest aim in radio control.
Hey, Dave. Dave, we're here at the Cinemizer booth, and I've got Dave from Zeiss with Cinemizer, and we're checking out some pretty awesome glasses. You guys have been packed with people every time I come by. Absolutely. What's the excitement going on here?
I tell you what, Dave, these are the most fabulous goggles on the market. So we're calling them the world's best FPV goggles because you're going to get the high quality displays that we have with the Zeiss goggles. So we use OLED micro displays. So the picture quality, the color, the vibrance, everything is just like excellent, top quality. So we also have diopters for focus. I'll show you here. There's you turn the wheels, you have -5 to +2 focal length. So people who wear prescription eyewear, which in the RC hobby is a lot of people, wear glasses. And you know, it's difficult with a traditional FPV goggle to fit the goggles over your glasses. So with the Cinemizer, we've got that all resolved here because you have the focus adjusters. The other nice thing about the goggles is the weight. We have 1.8 ounces is what the weight of the goggles is. So it's not like having a pop can or a brick on your face. It's more like wearing a pair of glasses. Our sun shield actually we made as an option, so we can pop this part right off. And that way, if you're flying outside on maybe a cloudy day when it's not real bright sunny, you can actually put the goggles on and you still get line of sight from your copter. So it's another nice feature. The other cool part of the Cinemizer is the utility. So you can connect the cinemizer to your smartphone. We've got it connected to an iPhone. You can connect it to through HDMI to a Blu-ray player, DVD player, Xbox, PlayStation, laptop computer. Over here we've got our flight simulator set up, so you can actually do flight sims with it. You can do all kinds of cool things with this, and you know, people are just excited about it because of its utility, its quality, and overall, I mean, you got the Zeiss brand on it, that Zeiss logo. It just adds a whole lot of value to it.
And 3D, that's something that I've just been checking out at a couple shows, and it's really hard to explain to people without actually seeing it how awesome 3D is. Now, you guys have a demo set up in the back. Tell us a little bit about the 3D and what you've been hearing from people who see it.
Sure. So we've got a 3D camera system from EMR Labs, and basically we've got the 3D cam. So there's a stereo 3D mounted on the front of our quadcopter over here. We'll get a close-up of that. And then it comes to a video downlink called a 3D transporter board. Basically what that does is provides frame sequential 3D. We're able to convert that and plug it into the cinemizer. You get full stereoscopic 3D imagery. So when you're flying around something and you're close to it, with a flat plane, it's hard to really judge depth. Right. When you have that extra axis, I mean, you can fly close to something and you know exactly how far away you are. And it makes sense for FPV, it really does. Cinemizer it just provides, you know, all kinds of 3D. We've got the frame sequential, field sequential, top, bottom, side by side, HDMI 1.4, and because they're stereo goggles, it just accepts all those video feeds.
Yeah, it's a really neat set of glasses, goggles. You've got to really check them out. Seeing is believing, and you know, if you could just see all the people who come by the booth, they're wowed by the flexibility, the image quality, and you know, all the potential that you can do with this. So awesome! Thanks for showing us it, and yeah, I'm a fan.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. There was some big jump action going on, but I was looking for some air-based action. Unfortunately, the winds were so high, there really wasn't a ton of air action going on, but even these 3D pilots went out there to battle the winds, and we're doing some pretty cool stuff. When there was a break in the winds, there was a little bit of multi-copter action going on. Now, none of it in FPV, but it was neat to see. And, of course, the chaos of the crawler off-road action had the crowds really excited, but it was hectic. Traxxas had some really cool multi-copters going on. They were a little bit to the smaller side, but could do some really cool aerobatic stuff. They had a really fun demo to show that off, and a lot of people were really interested in that. It'd be pretty cool to see a Pico type system from Ready Made put on one of these and see how that was working. I'm here at the Paralinx booth with Dan from Paralinx, and we're checking out their awesome HD links. Tell us a little bit about the systems you guys got going here.
Absolutely. So today we're showcasing the Aero wireless HD transmitter and the Tomahawk wireless HD transmitter. And the Aero is our original system. It's ultralight, less than 39 grams. And you can go up to 328 feet away from your receiver with your ship. And we're also showing the Paralinx Tomahawk, which is our long-range solution, and this has a range of anywhere from 2,000 up to 6,000 feet, depending on what kind of antennas that you use.
Very cool. And what kind of, I see 2 antennae on there. Is that a diversity-based system?
It's not diversity, it's OFDM, so you actually need both antennas, and it's using both antennas to packetize the signal and send it out. And what I can tell you about the Paralinx system is that it's uncompressed, 0 delay, and it's full HD and wireless. So it's a great way to be able to see what you're filming while you're filming it, or to be able to get an HD FPV system at a pretty low price.
Yeah, for the people who've been flying FPV in the standard def world, it is amazing to see this system. I've checked it out now at a couple different shows, and it's just, you've got to see it to believe it. It's amazing. It's clearly the future of where FPV is going to be, and awesome stuff. So thanks for showing us.
Yeah, thanks so much. And just to show you, here's the receiver on the ground station. It's also very lightweight. And thanks so much for checking it out.
Everybody could find something to do at RCX, from kids to adults. All RC fans in general are going to find something fun to see out there. And these tanks, for instance, were something that was really neat to see. Awesome scale, and again, something I'd love to FPV. And that's RCX 2014. Thanks for checking it out. For Ground Station TV and Ready Made RC, this is Dave. We'll see you next time.